Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. We took about a week hiatus for Thanksgiving, but we are back. It is December 1st, and we are better than ever here on The Rome Show. Excited to be back on Monday mornings. For the last few months, we were messing around with the Monday evening 6:30 show, and we are not fully positive which show and which time on Monday is the best for us, but we love the morning. We love the initial reaction, so we're back here on The Rome Show at our 7 a.m. or so, 7:05, 7:15 time slot. Welcome to December, people. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I did. And that was why we were not here on The Rome Show for the last week. We missed you, but we were brewing some things while we were in Disneyland, California, as you could see, sporting my Mickey hockey jersey, fired up, coming back from California. That is. And we got a lot of special stuff going on for the Rome Show in the 25 days leading up to Christmas. So outside of tuning into the Rome Show simply to get all the latest in your sports news, notes, and coverage, we're going to be doing giveaways and contests throughout the month of December. So you can kind of consider this the 25 days of Romemas, if you must. But there will be 6 different live on-show giveaway days, and then there will be a social media contest that you can enter and win. We've been producing this new Rome Show gear here with the new headphone logo. All right, we just put these into play last week. Definitely gotten some good reviews on it. We had one contest winner, I think maybe 3 weeks ago now, Court 30. We sent him a gray with a red Rome Show logo. So if you want to get yourself in the contest to win some Rome Show gear, make sure you tune in every day. We'll release the promo schedule on social media later. All right. To make sure you have a chance to win. By the way, you can purchase one of those hoodies if you don't feel like trying to win the hoodie. You can purchase a t-shirt as well. We have t-shirts and we have hoodies for the people, $20 and $30. A great gift for somebody this holiday season. And if you make the order within the next 2 weeks, well, heck, we could probably get it to you before Santa Claus comes. The Rome Show apparel. DM us. Twitter X, The Rome Show 1. Instagram, The Rome Show 1. Facebook, The Rome Show. YouTube.com/The Romanellas. Let's get into the sports portion of the program as we have a good show lined up for the people. Weekends best, weekends worst. A lot of coaching changes going on in college football, primarily in the Southeastern Conference. And then, of course, we have a Monday night showdown tonight. The, again, Jackson Dart-led New York Football Giants will take on the surging, yet kind of injured, New England Patriots, the AFC East leading New England Patriots. So, a lot to discuss here on The Rome Show. Get in on the action. Remember, follow the show, The Rome Show. The Romanellas on YouTube.com, youtube.com/The the Romanellas. Go to Instagram and Twitter X. That's the Rome Show 1, then that's the Rome Show, then the number 1, and or Facebook, facebook.com/the Rome Show. Let's get it started here with our weekend's best and our weekend's worst. Here we go, people. All right. First up here. Yeah, you are. You know who's simply the best? That'd be Kyle Palmieri, the forward for the New York Islanders, who tore his ACL and still found a way to get an assist and make a play. Check out this play by Kyle Palmieri.
Didn't they both go falling? Palmieri's hurt. That didn't look good. Palmieri is in a ton of pain back behind the play.
They're going to have to blow it down here. Move it a little better, his palms.
He's going to strip it away there. Sets up Druin. Heineman scores!
How about that?
How about that? An assist for Kyle Palmieri as he goes off the ice and down the tunnel.
That's why hockey guys are just better, ladies and gentlemen. You just don't get that in other sports. You have a potential torn ACL, which you didn't know in the moment, right? He just goes into the boards, gets hurt a little bit, and you're like, all right, what's going to happen here? And he makes a play on the way off the ice. Hockey guys are just built different. Kyle Palmieri, the second one we got 3 from hockey today, by the way. Okay, because there was a lot that we potentially missed over the last week and change with the Thanksgiving holiday and not being on the air. So as I was watching games, I was recording. Oh my God, man, this might be a best for me. And this one right here to win the game for the Anaheim Ducks by Mason McTavish in a shootout was ridiculous. Check out this move.
Well, it's his favorite play. And we've seen this trademark speed, if you will. And he scores! Remove. Well, it's his favorite play.
What a ridiculous play there. Look at the moves. Look at the hands. Dangles. Beautiful there. Mason McTavish. That was. Yeah, you were. Right there. You were the best. However, Elias Patterson. That's what we're going with. Elias Patterson. Check out this goal for the Sharks.
Chased down by Liljegren in the Shark zone with help, but great work by Pettersson, and he scores.
Pettersson made the amazing play to get to the puck and spin and get it off his foot. Then Askarov still had him. Oh, he pulled his right leg back, and then he banks it off the leg. Listen,
flip it behind the back, spin-a-rama, falling down. Look at that goal.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing by Pettersson.
Elias Patterson, oh, man, that was awesome. All right. I got 2 more here for you, and they're both coming from the National Football League, and they are both very similar. And this is starting to become a common practice in professional and college sports, the ability for some of these dudes to make these ridiculous one-handed catches. You saw it at least 3 times I can think about over the weekend. Once from the Rutgers wide receiver. If you didn't get a chance to see that one against Ohio State over the weekend, you need to, because it was ridiculously awesome. So that started the weekend off with the one-handed catches. And then you had 2 yesterday, and we will work in backwards order as one of them continues to get itself ready to be played for you. First, on Sunday Night Football, check out Treylon Burks' catch last night.
So hungry for action, and that is a classic one-handed,
That's ridiculous.
fingertip over the edge of the ball to stop that thing.
Look at that catch.
Stop it.
Oh, my
That's
God.
insane.
Right? But then, you know what happened? earlier in the day by the best wide receiver, I'd say, right now in the National Football League. You had Puka Nacua do this.
Perfect position here. He doesn't bite on the double move. I mean, this is textbook as far as the technique that you would teach the corner.
Look at that. Come on, man.
But you can't.
Look at that stretch right there. This is not normal catching the football positioning. Puka Nacua, best wide receiver in the league. Treylon Burks doing his best Puka Nacua impression. What do we say? That was... Yeah, you are. Woo! Better than all the rest. How about those, man? When you take a week off from being behind the microphone, you come back with a lot of weekend, quote unquote, week-long best. There's probably about 40 I could have put in that category, but those 5, I mean, just ridiculous. And by the way, on this show, we're not big. We're just going to put dunks on the screen, people. No. That's like a commonplace in National Basketball Association. This is legitimately the best. But as you know, we go best, we go worst. So let's give you our weekend's worst, starting with the former head ball coach of Ole Miss Rebels. That would be Lane Kiffin. You might think you had a great weekend because you took the job at LSU, but really you started the demise of your reputation for a second time. My number one weekend's worst goes to Lane Kiffin for the way he handled the leaving of Ole Miss situation. I don't understand, okay? I don't. Any of these coaches that decide, hey, you know what? We're absolutely just going to disrespectfully leave the program that really built our reputation. Lane Kiffin made some terrible decisions earlier in his career with the Tennessee thing. Then after a year leaving the Tennessee, and then he had to rebuild himself back up. I think he was at FAU for a year. Like, then you get to Ole Miss. You're back in the SEC. You've built the program to the point where you're one of the best programs in college football, one of the best programs in the SEC. You have the facilities, you have the support, you have the backing, you probably have the contract. And again, you're going to go back to the well on leaving an institution like a clown? I'm sorry, but I think Lane Kiffin handled this situation so grossly terrible. I don't understand why LSU is going to continue on this run of let's hire people that morally cannot appropriately leave the job before they come to LSU. That worked out before with Brian Kelly. What are we doing? And why is LSU such an insane job? Because last time I checked, national championships are coming from way other places than LSU. Last time I checked, Indiana over the last 2 seasons has been better than Louisiana. Last time I checked, you can win a national championship from literally any location in the country now. Yeah, I'm sure they have a little bit more money than everyone else. I'm sure they have a little bit more NIL, a little bit more of this. I know that stadium's famous, all Death Valley, all of the things. But is it really worth the way this is going down? I heard rumors last night, or reports, that he was forcing his staff to make decisions like either you leave with me right now or you can't come at all. Like scumbag. Like that's bad guy territory by Lane Kiffin. You're the loser that's deciding to leave what you built and a chance to win a national championship for LSU. You're also the loser that wanted to have everything your way. And Ole Miss should roll the red carpet out for you. You spent a week to 2 weeks trying to make this decision. We all talk about it. Then you don't have the dignity to actually go speak to your team in person. Then you start to make demands to your staff. The quotes that come out aren't thank Ole Miss for being the only SEC school to give me a chance again after I was a complete tool bag last time. Instead, you come out and say, I really wanted to coach the team and they wouldn't let me. Of course they wouldn't let you. You're out the door to another Southeastern Conference school, you clown. Lane Kiffin's a clown. I hope that he goes to LSU and they are atrocious for the next 3 years. He gets fired, and we're all sitting here going, probably shouldn't have left Ole Miss, you idiot. Sometimes the grass is not always greener. I heard a statement yesterday. Dance with the devil you know sometimes is better than dancing with the devil you don't. Lane, be careful what you wish for, man. Because that's an LSU team. I think they finished 7-4. And that man got fired. And then, not only did he get fired, the school tried to turn around and say, nah, we didn't really fire him. He quit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. The guy making millions and millions of dollars that horribly left Notre Dame, which is now better than when he was there, although he did, of course, help build it up, of course. Got to give him the credit there. Same with Lane Kiffin with Ole Miss if they win a title or they get better or whatever. But sometimes, man, you sit back as a low-level head coach like myself, who probably deserves the millions of dollars way more than these clowns because we actually have personal relationships with these players. We're actually the reasons our schools are staying afloat, okay? That's neither here nor there because Division I college football has been a big money business pre-NIL and post-NIL. Nonetheless, not getting into that conversation. These dudes, I think, forget how good they have it in certain places sometimes. And they look at some of these school names, like, I guess, LSU as one of them saying, no matter where I am, that's got to be a job that I want. It's like, did you see what Nick Saban did at Alabama? When Nick Saban got to Alabama in the mid-2000s, they weren't Alabama that we knew or that was there one time. And I'm sure Nick Saban had the chance to leave for every school. And Nick Saban was at LSU at one time. I just don't understand it. So, Lane Kiffin, you get the twice weekend's worse for you. Terrible decision. I hope it goes south. I mean that honestly. Another weekend's worse goes to the Bill Belichick effect. Yeah, very scary. In North Carolina, the Tar Heels finished Belichick's first season at 4-8 with 5 losses by double-digit margins. Not good in North Carolina for Billy Belichick and the crew. A lot needs to be changed for the Tar Heels this offseason. We wonder if Bill Belichick is the right guy for the job. I have no idea, but Bill Belichick, congratulations. Your season gets the sad trombone, I'll tell you that for a fact. Finally, the Tennessee Titans, they're 1-11. They're just sad. It's a sad football team. And you know what's even more sad? I'm about to watch a Monday night game tonight with New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel absolutely turning that entire franchise around. And that was the guy in the building, man. That was the guy in the building. And in this era, at least in my opinion, we're in an era of fire at all costs. Like it's, no, not good enough after 12 minutes, fire. Not good enough after 2 minutes, fire. Not good enough after a day, fire. Like that's the era we're in right now with sports. And yet, you look back and you're like, oh, maybe we jumped the gun there. Yeah, you did. Like, is it not okay to have a down season or two? Is it not okay to look at the GM and go, hasn't really given us much talent. My starting quarterback was Ryan Tannehill. Thanks, but no thanks. One franchise had already decided to commit to him. Now we were the second one. Yes, he was better. Then we maxed out, man. Then we traded Derrick Henry, traded A.J. Brown. The Tennessee Titans every weekend are a weekend's worst because they put themselves in this position when just 2 years ago, right before the year that Vrabel got fired, they were in the postseason. We're talking about this could be legit. And now Mike Vrabel is doing it for the New England Patriots. Bad on you, Tennessee Titans organizations. You get the final weekend's worst trombone. You got a weekend's best. You got a weekend's worst. Go ahead and write it in. YouTube.com/ the Romanellas. That's youtube.com/the Romanellas. Twitter X. Oh, that's not it. Twitter X and Instagram. The Rome Show. One other college football coaches that got jobs, Alex Golish, the USF head coach. He's taking the Auburn job. John Sumrall, the Tulane head coach. He'll be taking the Florida job. Ryan Silverfield, the Memphis head coach. He'll be taking the Arkansas job. And then, of course, we just got done with Lane Kiffin taking the LSU job. Lane Kiffin's defensive coordinator will be taking over the head coaching duties for the Ole Miss Rebels as they head to potentially the college football playoff. Next weekend in college football, we will have the conference championship games. We'll get into our feeling on that as we get closer, because I think it's a little embarrassing that the conference championship games don't matter, do matter. It's like a weird scenario. So we'll break that down as we get closer over the weekend. We are now closer to the end than the beginning. So we take a quick commercial break. We come back in a minute with our Monday morning quarterback, week 13, every game in the National Football League, plus a Monday night football preview for the people before the show ends. It's the Rome Show. It's Andrew Romanella back on Monday morning. Feels great. I miss the people. Wake up with us. Back in a minute.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. The Rome Show. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Monday, December 1st, 2025. Starting off the 25 days of Rome Show Christmas here with the black hoodie behind me. If you'd like to take a look, we'll be starting the contests and giveaways tomorrow, December 2nd, here on The Rome Show. 6 total live contests will be going on throughout the month of December. So you need to pay attention to the Rome Show social media accounts. All right. The Romanellas on YouTube. That's youtube.com/the Romanellas. Go ahead and hit subscribe over there. We have Twitter X and Instagram. That's the Rome Show 1 on Twitter X and Instagram. And of course, the OG social media site, facebook.com/the Rome Show. Go to some of those social media sites. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay. And then you'll know when all the contests are going to happen. You'll have the chance for a new Rome Show status hoodie. You see that thing? We'll put it in the camera right there. We got the new logo. Pretty fire. Okay. You see on the bottom of your screen there. If you don't want to wait for a contest because you don't want to press your luck. All right. $30. This hoodie. You can really make somebody's holiday season, huh? You know what I'm saying? And we can do different colors for you. You know, if you want to DM us on any of those social media sites, we might be able to do some different colors for the people. Okay. So get your loved ones a Rome Show something this holiday season. I'll get you a Rome Show something right now. It's called Monday Morning Quarterback, and it gets started here on the Rome Show. All right. Arguably my favorite segment of the week because I get a chance to take you through every National Football League game that happened on Sunday and give you a quick vibe. Nothing crazy, just a quick vibe. All right. And in this iteration of Monday Morning Quarterback, we will give you Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday as well. So let's get started with a big win for the Green Bay Packers. A big 5-day span for the Green Bay Packers, pushing their record to above 500. Big time at 8-3-1 with a win over the Detroit Lions, 31-24. Jared Goff, meh. The Lions, meh. Defensively in this game. That's one of the best games the Packers offense has looked. The Cowboys, big week for them as well. The NFC popped off this weekend, and a lot changed with some key losses to people at the top of this division and key wins. 2 being for the Dallas Cowboys, 1 versus the Eagles, and another versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Cowboys 31, Chiefs 28. They dropped the Chiefs to 6-6. 500 are the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. The Cowboys, they're starting to figure it out a little bit. 2 big wins. They're 6-5-1 now. Dak Prescott playing some good football. 320, 2 TDs. CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens. What a duo at wide receiver. Cowboys making a push with 6 weeks left in the season. Bengals, how about that? They get Joe Burrow back. He throws for 261 and 2 TDs. Jamar Chase has 110 receiving yards. Chase Brown looks like he could run the rock. The Bengals all of a sudden have a defense, and now they're 4-8. But a lot more fun to watch, huh? And they beat a Ravens team that was streaking and made them look bad. Now, it's Thanksgiving. It's a Thursday. Take those with a grain of salt. Ravens 6-6, Bengals 4-8. On Friday, the Bears solidified themselves as a legitimate contender, beating the Eagles 24-15. The Bears are now 9-3 and atop the NFC. Why, may you ask? Well, because of all the losing that was done at the top of the NFC, more specifically by the Rams and the Eagles. The Bears, with their second-year quarterback, Caleb Williams, feeling good. Here's my belief, though. Continue to use your running backs. Between Monangai and Swift, this team can really be explosive from outside, out the backfield, whether it's running the rock or catching the rock. Bears 9-3, Eagles 2 straight losses, 8-4. Not looking too good for the defending champions. The Dolphins, they hang on, stopping a 2-point conversion late, but not only stopping it, running the interception back for 2 points. So the 21-17 score could have easily been 19 to a 19-18 win for the Saints. However, Dolphins defense gets a stop. They get their 3rd straight win. They're 5-7, 2 games out of a wild card spot. The Saints, they suck. They're 2-10. The Niners, big win. Brock Purdy, statistics, but that doesn't matter because they won 26-8. The Cleveland Browns, they dropped to 3-9. The Niners, they improved to 9-4. As the Niners continue to get healthy, they continue to get more dangerous. The Shedeur Sanders effect in Cleveland didn't not work, but it didn't necessarily work. But I don't know if that's a Shedeur thing or a Cleveland Browns thing. Yep. Either way, the Browns are 3-9. And for another year, we should talk about, does that GM and that coach still deserve a job? I have no idea. We'll see what happens at the end. We mentioned this already. Jags 25, Titans 3. Nothing else to talk about there. The Texans, big win over the Colts. Knocking the Colts out of the AFC South number 1 spot. Bringing the Texans closer to an AFC South title and a playoff spot. They moved to 7-5 as the Colts dropped to 8-4. Colts, 1 win in their last 5 games. Were we lied to? Or 1 win in their last 4 games. Were we lied to? I don't know. But on the games when Jonathan Taylor rushes for under 75 yards or 80 yards, it's clear and obvious this team cannot be led by its quarterback. Do I think Indiana Jones is way better than when in New York? Yes. But I don't know. They got some things to clean up. The Colts are now 8-4, Texans 7-5. The Jets, late victory against the Atlanta Falcons, 27-24. Tyrod Taylor started in this game against Kirk Cousins. Talk about a flashback to 2018. Nonetheless, both teams suck. Falcons 4-8, Jets 3-9. Bucks, they get back to their winning ways. They beat the Cardinals 20-7. Baker Mayfield said it the best after the game yesterday. We just got to win games. Win as many games as we can, and as this team starts to get healthier, it's going to be ridiculous. And I agree. This is a very injured football team. I'm curious to see what they look like when they are fully healthy. The Panthers, huge victory over the Rams, 31-28. Don't look now, but the Panthers are 7-6. They're in the fight, and Bryce Young looks like he could be a legitimate quarterback. You see why we don't go after 1 year and just make reckless decisions? You see how there's development that can happen? You can have a bad year and be good for 5 more, or even a bit better yet, just be good the next year. Bryce Young proving that. Carolina Panthers proving that. Good for them, 7-6. Seahawks 26, Vikings 0. The Vikings, they have a quarterback problem. And the funny part about this was the guy that should be their quarterback right now on the other side beating them, Sam Darnold. He didn't have a great game, but imagine what the Vikings wouldn't be dealing with at 4-8 right now had they kept either Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold. J.J. McCarthy, some guy who started yesterday, Brosner, not the answer. That was probably the worst 2-game stretch offensively the Seahawks have played as well. They are 9-3, though, and their defense is really good. But nonetheless, we got a few things to figure out offensively. Bills, big win against Pittsburgh. Get back into that win column, 8-4, 26-7. Josh Allen, not a great game. This wasn't a great football game to begin with, but the Bills played a little bit better than the Steelers. Steelers are now 6-6 after 2 straight losses. People are screaming, fire Mike Tomlin. What are you doing? Again, the grass is not always greener. Again, dance with the devil you know, then the devil you don't. And by the way, if you fire Mike Tomlin, I'll be the first fan with my hand raised telling him to come to my organization. I would take him in a heartbeat. The Chargers 31, the Raiders 14. Chargers almost lost Justin Herbert. They didn't. However, that's a concern because they've had so many injuries this year, but they do move to 8-4. The Raiders, they stink. A lot of questions to be answered as the season goes on. Finally, last night in overtime, the Denver Broncos won 27-26. They did everything they could to try and lose that game to the Commanders. They didn't. And again, that continues to give me pause about the Broncos. Bo Nix, 321, a TD interception. That bad interception. Those are things that you say, is that a guy that's ready to take a team to the postseason and make a run? I don't think so. Okay. There are certain plays you see on the field that tell you, I feel confident in this guy leading my team. I have not seen a lot of that this year from Bo Nix. Nonetheless, though, this Denver team's 10-2 and atop the AFC, tied with a team playing tonight. That's New England Patriots as they take on the New York Football Giants, the 2-10 New York Football Giants. The Patriots are favored in this game by 7 points, ladies and gentlemen. The Giants, however, get Jackson Dart back. The Patriots, however, struggling with some offensive line injuries. Now, with the injuries on both sides of the ball, no Scadaboo, no Neighbors, fire your defensive coordinator for your New York Football Giants, 3rd game with an interim head coach. There's a lot more turmoil on the side of the Football Giants than on the side of the Patriots. So I'm taking the Patriots at the -7 in this game. And I think the under is going to hit 46.5. I don't know if there's enough power on both sides of the ball. Probably going to be cold up there in New England on a Monday night. A lot of injuries on both sides. I think this is going to be more of a defensive battle. I think the Giants defense is going to play with a whole like hair on fire type stuff. But I got the Patriots at -7. Their team's too good. They take sole control of the AFC at 11-2 with this victory. And I think the Giants, all the Giants are headed for is a top 5 draft pick. But you have your quarterback, have a running back, have a wide receiver. So now you what looks like could have been a negative feel for this season, though you're firing people left and right, could be a really positive feel when all is said and done. That is your Monday morning quarterback here on the Rome Show. And some might say that is the Rome Show here on a Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Felt good to be back on Monday AM. We'll see you tomorrow morning on a Tuesday. Remember, Rome Show apparel. Oh, the hoodie fell. Rome Show swag. Available for the people. And we'll be doing giveaways as well. How about them apples? Andrew Romanella, the Rome Show. Back tomorrow. See you later. Peace!
Thank you for listening.